Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this installment of the Trader's Edge. And today we're going to talk about Ether futures, which we'll be introducing on February 8th. A quick disclaimer, futures and options trading is not suitable for all investors. Each involves the risk of loss, so do your homework. So the cryptocurrency landscape at the CME Group has shown some phenomenal growth since we launched Bitcoin back in 2017. Now on the heels of that success, we're going to introduce Ether futures on February 8th, of course subject to regulatory approval. The average daily volume of Bitcoin futures in the fourth quarter of 2020 was nearly 10,000 contracts a day. So that's a pretty amazing growth rate given that we just launched a couple of years ago. The price action in cryptocurrencies has been unprecedented as 2020 saw Bitcoin and other cryptos advance by triple digits. I believe Bitcoin was up 162% in 2020, and it was by far the most prodigious asset class, and not only the last decade, but in 2022 with returns far exceeding the stock market and any other asset class. We also saw unprecedented volatility, so futures contracts on Ether and Bitcoin provide investors with tools for risk management. We have an interesting chart here showing the relative landscape of cryptocurrencies in relation to other assets too. So we have the gold market cap at 10 trillion. We have Apple, US dollars in circulation, Amazon, and then we have all the thousands and thousands of cryptocurrencies at just under $1 trillion. Bitcoin, the lion's share of that at 644 billion. Ethereum, or Ether, is the second largest of the cryptocurrency market with $124 billion market cap. A couple years ago, these things were under 100 billion, so they've grown geometrically, which is pretty amazing considering their very, very short price history. Some of the benefits of doing an Ether futures contract here at CME Group: you have efficient Ether exposure. It's a very easy way to get long or short or hedge a holding using futures contracts. You have price discovery. You have a transparent futures contract. All the participants see the same prices and quotes. You have a robust underlying index, which, if you look at some of our other index products like the S&P 500, very robust. The underlying S&P 500 index is a $20 trillion index. A lot of calculations, a lot of, cross checks and things like that. Same thing with the CME CF Ether dollar reference rate. It's a very robust underlying index, and that's how we will settle the futures contracts too. We also have capital efficiency. In the spot market, you have to put up the full value. In futures, you put up margin. So you'll also have margin offsets versus, Bitcoin futures and some of the options too. So you have the efficiency of futures contracts. Here's a price chart that shows Ether going back 6 months, and I did this just to illustrate the contract notional value. And at the current price, it's 1,188. Each contract's 50 Ether, so 1,188 times 50 is 59,400, and that's as of today, January 21st of 2021. All right, so here's the contract specs. Again, subject to regulatory approval. We're launching February 8th. It's 50. We're not going to go over this entire chart, but it's 50 Ether. Each contract represents 50 Ether. Bitcoin was 5 Bitcoin, so this is 50 Ether. The price quote will be in US dollars and cents per dollars. The trading hours is the same as all our other products, basically. We start up at 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday afternoon, and we go till Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time. So we're just closed on Saturdays, open Sunday afternoon, all the way through basically with a 60-minute trading break each day beginning at 4 o'clock Central Time. All right, minimum price fluctuation will be 0.25 per Ether, which equals $12.50 per contract. Calendar spreads will be a fifth of that, at 0.05 or $2.50. The product code, ETH, very simple to remember. We'll have 6 consecutive monthly contracts, inclusive of the nearest 2 December contracts. So there'll be plenty of spread possibilities, plenty of contracts going forward for hedgers or speculators interested in something other than a near-term contract. It'll be financially settled. It'll be block eligible with 5 contracts as the minimum. Final settlement will be the last Friday of the contract month. Trading terminates at 4 o'clock p.m. London time on the last day of trading. Final settlement will be based on the CME CF Ether dollar reference rate, just like our Bitcoin dollar of our CME CF Bitcoin reference rate. We have an Ether reference rate too. So let's use a quick trade illustration here. Let's say you're a miner and you've got a nice portfolio of Ether, and you've seen this large advance in 2021, so you'd like to lock in some of the gains and diversify your portfolio with the proceeds. Miner holds 2,000 Ether. The miner wishes to hedge half his holdings, so 1,000 Ether needs to be hedged. Each futures contract represents 50 Ether. So Thus, 20 contracts would be required. So the miner would be hedging against the decline in Ether. That is, he would sell 20 contracts. This would be a short hedge. So selling or hedging would lock in the current price should Ether decline. The profits on the hedge would offset the losses in his actual Ether portfolio. If Ether should advance, the miner could remove the hedge and reestablish it at some point in the future. Either way, you have to manage your hedge. Keep an eye on it. The ecosystem, very simple. Pension funds, hedge funds, prop firms, retail active traders, cryptocurrency miners will all find primary uses or secondary uses, whether it be asset allocation, long-short strategies, market making. There's a use for pretty much every major user out there, whether you're a pension fund or a foundation or you're an active retail trader or a miner. So that's something to keep in mind. We hope the ecosystem continues to grow as it has. And it is. A survey done by America's leading money manager, Fidelity Investments, shows a third of large institutional investors owning crypto assets. So that's from Nairametrics in June of 2020. I want to call your attention to the CME Institute. Visit cmegroup.com/education. We have trading simulators, online classes, and a lot of tools to help you sharpen your skills and deepen your knowledge of our markets. So thank you for listening, and remember, we'll be launching Ether futures on February 8th. Thank you.